What's up, everybody? Hope you all had a great day. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, I don't blame Sam for pushing Dante to go back to the bar because she don't trust that little barmaid who actually really is Maggie. She don't trust her. And it's a good thing Dante did go back because this heifer sitting here trying to make a run for it. I'm like, man, you're not going nowhere. Thank God Dante got there just in time because old girl was about to head for the hills, and I'm glad he caught her because Miss Girl, you are not about to go nowhere. And Dante need to get on his phone, call Sam, and tell her to come back to the bar real quick because he got her. Um, she gonna sit her ass down and she gonna answer some questions is what she gonna do because ain't nobody come all the way to freaking London or wherever, you know what I'm saying, just for you to not answer any questions. Like, plane tickets to London are not cheap, madam. You gonna tell them what the hell they want to know. I don't know what type of game she think this is, but you gonna sit your ass down. You gonna tell them everything they want to know, or it's gonna be a problem. So Sam was back at the cottage or whatever, and the owner of the cottage came up in there, asking if her and Dante wanted some tea or some coffee for breakfast. Um, so Sam started picking her brain about this, bartender and stuff like that, about asking about Maggie. So the cottage owner was like, I don't know nobody named Maggie or whatever, but she was like, I do know a Margaret who is the bartender, telling her about her. And she was like, oh, she was a nanny, in America for some years. So now Sam is starting to put two and two together that old girl was playing games. I'm like, yeah, Sam, you need to get your ass to that bar and smack her upside the head for wasting y'all damn time. That's what you need to do. Because I don't know who old girl thinks she playing with, but we can get her to some diabolical shit if she want to keep playing these games. Like, we're not going to keep playing games now. Shit, came all the way to London and you think you're going to dip out without giving some answers? No, ma'am. We're not doing that. You're going to tell them what the hell they want to know, or it's going to be a problem. So, anyway, moving on from that, speaking of problems, Ryan and Heather Weber, they have a very sick ass relationship. I'm just saying, I don't even know if you could call it a relationship, but they got a very sick ass family dynamic. And I'm here for it. Every time I watch them, it's like, what type of sick shit am I watching? It's like you watching the Twilight Zone or something. I'm like, what the hell going on with y'all? One minute y'all want to act all domesticated, next minute y'all threatening each other and holding knives and shit up to each other's throats and grabbing and all that mess. I'm like, what type of kinky shit are y'all into? Because she pissed off that he wanted to stop by to see Ava before they left, and he was like, you need to stop your jealousy. He was like, it's really not cute. Like, you need to stop being jealous. um so she started berating him and stuff like that, talking about, oh, this ain't the Ryan I used to know. You're useless. All you do is sit there. Ryan's blood was boiling over. He had enough of her shit. So he just got up, pushed her ass up against that wall, held that shiv up to her throat, like, bitch, don't play with me. He was like, do not play. I would cut your ass right here. And she was all excited about that shit. She was like, oh, this the Ryan I know. See, they into that kinky mess. Because that shit really turned her on when he pushed her up against that wall, held that knife up to her. I'm like, y'all really into this freaky deaky shit? I mean, I'm into some wild, rough shit too, but damn, y'all taking it to the next level, hold knives up to each other and shit. He got a knife to your throat, ready to cut your jugular. And you excited about that? That type of violence turns you on? Ugh. Somebody need to check her web browser. Cause I bet you she be on Pornhub just watching all type of kinky shit. Heather Weber is a freak. I'm just saying, like, a little too freaky for me. But I'm like, girl, what the hell is you into? Like, she all excited about that shit. I could tell her little cooter was getting wet down there. I said, this shit turns you on? Like, is this like some type of freaky ass kinky foreplay or something? Like, all excited and shit. I'm like, okay, whatever floats your boat. Um, so she left the door open or whatever. Like, she left his door pretty much ajar or whatever, so that way he could get out. So he can get out of the room and whatnot. So she went, bumped into Esme or whatever in the common room, and Esme sitting there reading baby books and shit about pregnancy and how to, what to, like one of them books, what to expect when you're expecting, all them little motherhood books. And I was like, okay, this I'm not used to this, Esme. She actually sitting there reading instead of plotting. Okay. Um, so Heather was like, "Oh, let me help you back to your room and stuff like that." So they took a scenic route. They took a whole different, little side, little cut. And that's when one of the guards came up or whatever, and he was like, "Where the hell y'all think y'all going?" So he was like, "No, I'm gonna take y'all back to y'all room." So that's when Ryan came up, because the keys done dropped out of Heather's pocket or whatever. So Ryan came up and just took that guard the fuck out, like straight took that guard out. I said, "Uh oh, old Ryan is back in full effect." Um, and the way he looked all disheveled, hair looked a mess. He looked all crazy, talking about road trip. I'm like, yeah, brother, I wouldn't go nowhere with your crazy ass or this crazy ass bitch you got over here, because absolutely not. Y'all both nutty, nuttier than a damn fruitcake. Absolutely not. I wouldn't be going nowhere with they crazy ass. So anyway, Lord help Esme and that baby. I'm just saying, I feel bad for the child because all three of them nutballs. Because Lord knows when Esme get her memory back, game over. So anyway, moving on from that, I'm still not used to seeing Sonny and Ava being cordial with each other. Like, I'm still not. Like, he was asking Ava to, keep Nina distracted or whatever, keep her mind off of Willow and all this mess. So Nina was talking about how Carly and Drew keep trying to hide their little relationship for whatever reason. She trying to figure out what's going on with that. I'm pretty sure it's not going to take her long to find out. Um, I'm just ready for Carly and Nina to fight. At this point, they got to fight. It's at that point. You know what I'm saying? Too much has been said, too much has been done. They need to fight. Enough talking, enough plotting, trying to get revenge on each other. They need to whoop each other ass at this point. I'm ready for it. Like, fuck all the bitch slapping. Y'all need to be punching. Too much has been said and done for them not to fight at this point. It's like, y'all, that's the only way y'all gonna even get to a decent place. Not even a nice place with each other, but nice nasty. Y'all just gotta get that shit off y'all chest and just fight at this point. Like, physically fight. Um so anyway, Laura and Sonny was talking or whatever. Laura was telling Sonny how she happy that, at least Spencer got Sonny in his life, another male figure to talk to and lean on and stuff like that, because Nicholas is not answering her phone calls. Well, if you only knew why, Laura. Your son might be in the upper room. Nah, but we all know Nicholas' ass ain't dead nowhere. He probably cooling off somewhere in the freezer. Like the rest of the Cassadines do when they getting ready to thaw out and come back. I swear, yo, they be putting them Cassadines in freezers and shit like they a bunch of drumsticks or something, or a bunch of wingettes or some shit. And once you thaw them out, you ready to cook them in the air fryer or something. I'm like, that's some sick shit. But the Cassadines are weird. Um, Sonny was talking to Ava about that and whatnot, about Nicholas, not returning Laura's calls, and Sonny didn't give a damn. Sonny was just like, shit, he said the world is better off with Nicholas gone. I'm like, yeah, you might want to bite your tongue on that, Sonny, because the brother might be gone for far as you know. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to need Frank Valentini to do me a big, big, big favor. I'm going to need Frank Valentini to keep Sterling, keep Zeke, and I'm gonna need him to cast somebody to play Portia's mother. You know who I think would be the perfect person to play Portia's mother? Lynn Whitfield. Lynn Whitfield would be the perfect person to play Mrs. Robinson or Dr. Robinson. She'd be the perfect person. Like, Lynn Whitfield is a gem. Like, you know how lucky GH would be to get Lynn fucking Whitfield? That is a legend. Like, they would be lucky as shit to get her, and they need to, because I think she'd be perfect for the role. But I'm gonna need the Robinson family to stay, because they look sharp. They educated. They're doctors. I mean, come on, they're doctors on the show called GH. Come on now, we could use more doctors, especially black ones. Get them on the show. I could listen. We need space. We need to get rid of some folk. Cody, he can go. Willow can go. Sasha can go. I mean, pick somebody else. Anybody else can go too, because we got a few useless ass people running around with nothing better to do, so we can cut them. And we can make room for the Robinson family. I'm just saying, I want them to stay, because I think there's potential for story there. And I feel like Zeke, we don't know anything too much about what Zeke does, so I think that could tie into some good story. Maybe he could be a part of the underworld. Maybe he's a part of Pikeman or something. With the Sunny storyline. Who knows? We don't know what Zeke is up to. So I think that would be awesome. To get them on this show permanently, for a good story, or at least for a few months or so. Something, because I like them. You know what I'm saying? I like their style. So, you know, Portia kept wondering where the hell Trina was at because they sitting there cutting the cake and stuff like that and feeding each other. Um, Elizabeth gave her toast, and I love the scene with Marshall. You know, he did his little clarinet solo and all that mess. I thought it was beautiful, but too bad the happiness ain't gonna last. The honeymoon ain't even started yet, and it's about to be over. Because I don't blame Stella, you know, for not blowing up Portia's spot with Trina, because Trina was curious as to why the hell Stella not at the wedding, because she was like, it don't look like you sick. She didn't spot no medication. She didn't see no dirty tissues lying around. She saw nothing that indicated Stella was sick. So then Stella came up with another excuse talking about, oh, I just needed some alone time. And Trina wasn't buying it. She was like, is there an issue that you got with my mom's or something? Like, or are you worried about her cheating on Curtis because she cheated before? Um, and I respect the fact that Stella didn't want to tell Portia's truth because she felt like it wasn't her story to tell. And she simply told her, like, listen, I kept Marshall's secret for 40 years and look what that did to my family. She said, I'm not in a position to keep yet another damn secret. And she said, I won't. But she told her, she said, listen, you need to go back to the wedding. You need to go talk to your mother. You know, your mother has something to tell you and Curtis. I don't blame Stella, you know, because it wasn't her story to tell, but I wouldn't blame her if she did told, but it just wasn't for her to say. Because at the end of the day, this needs to come from Portia. You know, this is her story to tell, and they need to get a DNA test and prove once and for all if that man is her father or not. They need to prove it. Like, let's go with the DNA, because it was time for Portia to throw the bouquet and whatnot. And by the time, you know, she was throwing the bouquet, Trina had just came back and the bouquet landed at Trina's feet. I'm like, that's a bad omen, because usually whenever somebody catch the bouquet or it lands in their direction, that usually means they're the next one to get married. I'm like, as much as I think her and Spencer are cute and they look good together, they ain't ready for no marriage. I'm just saying, that's grown people stuff. Y'all not ready for that. But you know, Portia was wondering where she was at. She was like, "Oh, I came, you know, looking for answers." I don't blame Trina. Like, she gonna put her mother in the hot seat, and I'm not mad at it. It's been 20 years in the making, and she needs to know the truth. And hopefully, before she got to the venue, back to the wedding, she was putting stuff in her head, like, you know, connecting the dots. Yo mama and Curtis was together 20 years ago. All you gotta do is add 9 months to that, to when you were born. You know what I'm saying? Connect the dots. That's all she gotta do, and she'll put two and two together and see that it's four. Like, he may be your daddy, maybe he not, but at least she'll get a clear cut picture of what Stella was trying to say without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll all start making sense to her. But anyway, this is a pretty cool episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.